The WNBA continues to get the kind of attention they shouldn't want. All right, again, Colin Cowherd is making a point to talk about the WNBA again. He does it now multiple times a week, but only when it comes to one player, or in this case, one player and what it is the rest of the league is doing to her.
The NBA and WNBA continue making headlines for reasons no league should be proud of, and once again Colin Cowherd is at the center of the storm. He talks about the WNBA more than anyone in sports media, but only when the subject is Caitlin Clark, the one player capable of moving the needle every time she touches the ball. Now Cowherd is adding fuel to the rumor wildfire, treating trade speculation like premium content. Sure, he's dramatic. Sure, he loves the chaos. But this time his takes hit close to a real problem the league refuses to confront. What happens when the WNBA's most valuable player isn't the one winning awards, but the one making the league relevant?
Caitlin Clark finished 9th in player voting. In fact, she finished behind one of her own teammates in player voting. The pettiness has no bounds. For years, the WNBA players were pointing fingers. They were saying people are sexist, we're not being promoted, we're underappreciated. And then they get the golden goose and they don't like what it looks like. When the wave hits, ride it. They wanted to fly private. They wanted to be more popular. They wanted sold out arenas. They got it. I wouldn't have guessed that Caitlin Clark would be this.
Caitlin Clark finishing 9th in player voting wasn't just surprising. It was a flashing neon sign announcing the league's internal dysfunction. She finished behind her own teammate, which tells you everything you need to know about the pettiness simmering beneath the surface. For years, WNBA players argued that sexism held them back, that they weren't promoted, weren't supported, weren't appreciated. Then the league finally gets the breakout star they've always claimed to need. Someone who brings millions of eyes, new fans, and unprecedented hype. And suddenly that attention becomes a threat. They wanted growth, fame, packed arenas, national buzz. But now that they have it, they seem to resent the person responsible for delivering it.
This is clearly them cutting her down, because when you look at fan voting, obviously Clark is one, right? Because she has the most fans in the league. So that clearly biased. You go to the media voting.
She was 3.
She was 3. That actually makes sense.
I agree. She's not having the best of years this year. She's actually, her shooting is down.
Exactly.
There's been a number of situations that she's just not played her best ball. But she is still much, eons better than a lot of the other players that they voted in front of her.
Trading Caitlin Clark isn't just a bad basketball decision. It's a catastrophic business idea. Clark isn't merely a talented rookie. She's a heartbeat of the league's entire economic resurgence. A university finance professor calculated that she generated over 12% of all WNBA economic activity last season as a rookie on the worst team in the league. That unheard of in any major sport. She boosted merchandise sales league-wide, drove national broadcasts to million-viewer highs, and brought new permanent fans who never care about the WNBA until she arrived. She's not just a golden goose. She's the only goose laying eggs at all.
A university professor in finance looked up the value of Caitlin Clark for the WNBA. This is insane. So this year, last season in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark was 26.5% of all economic activity as a rookie on the worst team in the league when she entered. So now she has an 8-year, $128 million deal with Nike. So, she's going to eat. Merchandise in the league went up off a rookie from a Midwest-based school on the worst team in the league, 230.
Imagine boxing up all that momentum. The packed arenas, the rising TV numbers, the revived interest, and shipping away for a draft pick. That's what trading Clark would be, a self-inflicted meltdown of comical proportions. Fans wouldn't just be frustrated, they'd revolt. It wouldn't be a typical front office mistake. It would be an all-time historic blunder that analysts would roast for decades. The kind of decision that becomes a cautionary tale in sports business classes. The fever wouldn't just decline, they'd evaporate. And the WNBA wouldn't lose a player. It would lose the cultural lightning bolt that sparked its renaissance.
I'm not going to ignore, nor am I going to take my eyes off of what transpires with the WNBA over the next 2 weeks while Caitlin Clark is out with the quad strain. And the reason why is because, let me tell you something right now. I'm not going to go to word hate. I'm not going to be out there like RG3 was saying that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark or other players hate Caitlin Clark. But I will say this. I don't think it's specific about Caitlin Clark. I think it's what Caitlin Clark represents. See, it's no fault of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark balls. She balled at Iowa in college. She's balled since she's been in the NBA. She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between the college game and the pro game and did her thing.
While Clark sits out with a quad strain, the WNBA's attitude toward her becomes clearer than ever. This isn't hatred of Clark the person or Clark the player. It's resentment of Clark the phenomenon. She represents change, attention, relevance, and power the league has never had before. She had zero break between college and pros, entered the league exhausted, still played well, and somehow became a lightning rod for criticism from players who claim she receives too much spotlight. But that spotlight wasn't handed to her. She earned it with years of work, record-breaking games, and a style of play that America fell in love with. And instead of embracing that once-in-a-generation gift, parts of the league seem determined to minimize it.
Caitlin Clark had another, whatever you want to call it, confrontation in a WNBA game. Like, why is this happening? The Caitlin Clark phenomenon is one that I got wrong. I never really thought that Caitlin Clark would make the difference that she has in college basketball or in the WNBA. What other sports analogies are out there that are in any way similar to the impact that one individual has had on a larger sporting universe? Tiger was.
And then there's the coaching drama, a twist straight out of sports soap opera. The Fever hired the same coach who once stood by as Clark got poked in the eye on national TV, barely reacting. Now she's supposed to be Clark's mentor? Come on, the optics scream sabotage. It feels orchestrated, like a calculated move to reel in Clark's influence without openly admitting it. They wrapped it in buzzwords, culture, system, balance. But the message feels more like containment. It's the classic corporate move. Promote the person least likely to empower the superstar. And fans can see the strings being pulled.
She doesn't always get the consistent great star whistle. I think they're still kind of figuring out how to officiate her, right? Like I've said this for years when I covered Shaq, and Shaq got fouled more than anybody I've ever seen. I mean, it was insane. People bounced off Shaq. Jokic complains constantly, like, people are bouncing off me. She doesn't quite get as favorable a whistle as you think. So I think
neither does Steph too. That's the
Clark and this coach fit together like mismatched puzzle pieces from different boxes. The system isn't just incompatible with Clark. It seems designed to neutralize her. She gets benched during critical minutes, replaced by players who barely contribute, and treated like a rookie trying out for a spot instead of the franchise player she already is. This isn't normal development. This is political maneuvering. Every unnecessary substitution, every reduced role, every clipped moment of momentum sends a message. We're in charge, not you. It's subtle enough to deny, but obvious enough that fans feel the tension bursting through the screen.